Hi guys, so today we have something a little bit different. We're going to dive a little bit deeply um, on the buyout that has been happening with most of the studios associated with Microsoft and more recently PlayStation. Is this a new console war? Yes, yes it is. Let's not call it another thing. It's a console war, but it's very different from what we see up until now. What did we see up until now? It was Microsoft versus Sony, with the components of the consoles being slightly different, making one console better than the other. Um, these last two consoles, the Series X and the PlayStation 5, they're more or less the same. The changes of components and what we call uh, niche, what we call like a sort of edge one over the other, doesn't really exist. So they had to make a point, one and the other. And what did they do? Content. It's a war of content. So we're going to have Microsoft having more Bethesda games. We're going to have PlayStation having more Bungie games. And will that impact you directly? Not at first. Not at first. And why is that? Because most of the games that Bethesda and Activision have already ready, almost ready, will still go to the PlayStation 5. Future future titles like the up and coming Elder Scrolls, the successor of Skyrim. Oh, that one, I think it's going to be an exclusive of Xbox and PC. But concerning this newest Skyrim thing that they're going to launch, like the 10th anniversary Skyrim edition, it came to both, and it was already when the transaction was already done between Microsoft and Bethesda. But what's happening is that the Bethesda buyout was really well thought of and really in tune with the rules. The Activision Blizzard wasn't. And what's that? So, on the American side, you cannot buy sufficient companies to hold the market at ransom, basically creating a monopoly. That happened with Microsoft in the past. Microsoft didn't learn the lesson, apparently, because Microsoft and Microsoft Office were one big company. If you guys remember back in the 90s. So whenever a computer was brought out, a new version of Windows would come out. New technologies of PCs meant newer Windows. It's still happening today. We have Windows 11. I'm running this computer on Windows 11, but unfortunately, um, that brought about a sort of confusion to the market. So right now, what we're witnessing in the market is that newer computers are coming and no new Windows is coming. But that's not really true. Windows 11 did come, although many people saying, "Oh, this is Windows 10, but a little bit better." That's the main function of a brand new OS. But what does that mean on the gaming market? It means that the PCs will be able to accompany the Xbox, not so much on the PlayStation. Um, so the niche, the niche of the market will be very focused for PC and Xbox in terms of Bethesda. However, Activision Blizzard does impact a lot on the PlayStation 5, which means Call of Duty. Call of Duty will still come to the PlayStation 5. Okay, many of the head guys of Activision that are still there, and actually the headman of Microsoft already said, okay, they don't have a written agreement with us, but we're going to release it anyway for the PlayStation 5. And that's a very good thing because they're not going to corner the market. But again, there is tools on the US that will bring scrutiny to Microsoft. The merger of Microsoft with Activision Blizzard, or the buyout, whatever you want to call it, it's still going to have to be approved by the US government. Do they approve most of these big buyouts, big businesses? Yes, they do. We're witnessing the pardon me, the final merger of Discovery with Warner Brothers, and that's even bigger than Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. What will that bring to the market in true? So we have really big titles on the PC side that's going to be affected with their transition to the PlayStation 5, meaning Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is going to be impacted. Now, I know for a fact that there are already studies and uh, a little bit of the programming done to bring World of Warcraft to the Xbox. If that happens, a new branch of business will open for that very old game, but a very good game. Um, is that going to impact PlayStation 5? Not really. PlayStation 5 does have a lot of MMOs and enough MMOs for that matter. I would like a lot of the MMOs that are going to be launched only on the PC side because they're very demanding games, and consoles are prone to overheat with MMOs in certain cases. But will this impact PlayStation 5 negatively? Yes and no. So we are still to hear anything about Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is going to be a huge title to bring to the PlayStation 5 as well. If I was going to be Microsoft, I would authorize the PlayStation 5 version of that game in order to make a buck. Simple. Money. That's how the world goes around. Basically, to cut things a little bit short on our deep dive on this market confusion that we're witnessing, a lot of brands are going to be uh, really affected. Sony is going to be affected, but not so much as a Sony killer. This is not a Sony killer because Sony already bought Bungie, and I think they're preparing to buy. In my view, I think they're preparing to buy a huge, huge um, studio. Quite possibly, I think they're going to buy out Ubisoft, but I'm not sure. Okay, I think Ubisoft is still a little bit out of their range, but I would love them to buy Ubisoft. Why? Because they can actually bring a lot of the head honchos of Naughty Dogs and other studios that they already own. So, what does this mean? We're still witnessing the first shots of this war. Will this mean that no independent studios will be left? This is going to be the biggest question of them all. Will the big software houses buy out the smaller ones and then they will be bought by the console developers? Unknown. And this is why I would love for the US not to allow the buyout of Activision Blizzard. It really needs to stop. So Microsoft would be still with Bethesda, which is a huge title. Um, they're going to launch the Skyrim in space, the game that I refuse to say the name because I think the name is pathetic. It could have been a lot better. Uh, the Skyrim in space this year, yeah, it's going to be huge. I'm going to love to play the game on my computer. I'm not going to buy an Xbox for that. Regardless, will uh, I still invest on the PlayStation 5? Of course. There's still huge, really big titles coming for the PlayStation 5, and I think a lot of the future Call of Duties will come to the PlayStation 5. I think Diablo 4 is going to come to the PlayStation 5, but all in all, well, what this will mean is that more and more of your money is going to end up with Sony and Microsoft, not so much with independent studios. Because so far, when you bought the game on a retailer, a little bit of the money goes to the retailer, of course, and a lot of the money goes uh, to the software house. Uh, when the retailer buys from the software house the license to publish to actually market their game, the software house is already getting the money. But aside from that, uh, that is going to stop. So Amazon and all the others are still going to have a share of the money, but a lot of it is going to end up on Sony's pocket and Microsoft. What does that mean in the end? The terminology of what it means. Unknown at this point, but investment on new softwares and hardwares are paramount. Will we see, with this influx of money, investment on the mobile consoles that practically disappeared? I hope so, because Steam is going to launch the Steam Deck later this year, and I would love to see PlayStation come about with a new PlayStation Vita or whatever the name it's going to be, and I would also love if Xbox would finally launch a mobile platform. Uh, that would actually make revolutionize a little bit the market again. Stir things up a bit. Would that demand more money from you? Oh, hell yes. Have you seen the prices of the Steam Deck? Yeah, same goes with Sony and Microsoft if they ever launch mobile platforms again. But all in all, as you can see, these buyouts of studios will have far-reaching consequences for the market. This is like, instead of sending a little pebble to a lake, you see a little bit ripple. This is like a huge boulder blasting its way to a lake. It's going to cause waves. So, will I hope this tones down a bit? Yes. Yes, please. They need really to calm down. The only way to do that, in order to tone the mood a little bit, is for the US regulatory agency to flunk the acquisition of Activision Blizzard from Microsoft. That will tone down the mood a lot. because Microsoft will lose tons of money. They're already preparing launches and all of that. I mean, the next Elder Scrolls is going to be exclusive for the for the Xbox. Although I think it's stupid because I think Xbox can still market the that title to the PlayStation 5 and make a nice chunk of change. Um, the same goes with that new title that I've seen the trailer for Star Wars Eclipse. I think that since it's coming from Quantic Dreams, I think it's going to be a little bit of an exclusive of the PlayStation 5. And let's not forget that Knights of the Old Republic remake is going to be an exclusive of the PlayStation 5. Mind you that they have already said that about a year after the launch, they're going to release the PC and the Xbox version. So it's exclusive-ish. So for a year, PlayStation guys can laugh in the face of. I do believe that's going to happen to most of the exclusive Bethesda games. They're going to be launched on the PlayStation 5. But I really hope that they tone down the things a little bit because we're witnessing Bungie being bought, which means um, Destiny 3 could be an exclusive for the PlayStation, maybe. If they really go and put everything from Bethesda to only Xbox and PC, if I were Sony, I would also put those titles from Bungie on the line of PlayStation and ignore the rest, of course. But they really need to tone down because this will lead for a big monopoly between PlayStation and Xbox, leaving Nintendo a little bit on the wind. Although they have their own producers and they have their own software houses, but I mean, seeing really older brands coming back to the console war, which I would love because that would be not a boulder on the lake, that would be a goddamn meteor on the lake. Like Atari and Sega coming back, although I don't think so. I would love to. I would love for that to happen. Actually, I would really love to have for that to happen. New news coming, as you've just heard every time. Every hour of the day, there's newer developments coming. I'm keeping my ear to the ground to bring you really deep dives on these types of businesses and business models that they're adopting. This could be very good for us and very bad at the same time because although we're continuing to drop the money is going to two sources only. So let's keep our ears to the ground and not really participate on monopolies because that's going to be destructive to the video gaming world. So guys, I will see you next week. I'm going to review Jurassic World 2, the video game. The trailer of the new movie just dropped 2 days ago. I was going to do a trailer reaction, but I'm going to drop the trailer reactions for now because um, most of the trailer reactions get barred by or the money is denied by the YouTube policy of copyrights. So to avoid problems with copyrights infringements and stuff like that, I'm dropping the trailer reactions for now. I will come back to that later on, but be mindful that next week we are going to have a review that I'm going to review the version of the game that's going to be on the PC side. Okay, I hope to see you next week and keep on playing and stay safe.